That's for you.
Okay.
So, to the questions. The first one, if you were to explain to a layman, how did it happen? Could it have been prevented? Well, it's actually not that complicated. It was a classic banking crisis in which a lot of money was lent to people who couldn't pay it back.
One pocket of really risky lending was in the US mortgage market, where there were lots of people lending money for buying houses to people who really didn't have the resources to pay that money back. These, what we call subprime lenders, started collapsing one after the other in little locations all around the US, until it became clear that the whole sector had a problem. And when they have a problem, the banks that lend to them also have a problem.
But there's another part of the story, which is that things went back and forth between countries. So for example, US money markets, money managers would lend money to European banks, and those European banks would then buy mortgage-backed securities, remember those? From US banks. So these were securities that were based on house prices in the US.
All of these debts against US real estate, which were then packaged into these fancy securities by the banks, that is the first link in a chain that ultimately led to financial systems all over the world.
But it was much, much broader than that. People were borrowing silly money at silly cheap rates. Students straight out of university were being given cheap credit cards. Housewives in Japan were stocking up on Icelandic krona and New Zealand dollars because there was money to be made because of the low interest rates on their side of the fence. The signs were there, but no one was joining the dots.
Like any incident of human greed, venality, and stupidity, people could have been a little less stupid, greedy, and venal, and someone could have issued a timely warning, but on the other hand, eradicating human stupidity seems like a pretty ambitious project.